What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to the channel. As always, I appreciate you all for tuning in. And man, do we have a good one. So the Miami Heat, right? With their backs against the wall. In a game where the majority of the basketball world pretty much came to the conclusion that this series was pretty much over. And deservedly so, right? In game 5, the Heat looked disinterested, defeated, they looked unmotivated, decimated. They just looked like a team that was ready to wave the white flag. And Boston was completely dominating them. It looked like the Miami Heat, they just didn't have enough offense. And Jimmy Butler, although he has a banged up knee, he didn't look like himself. And the disrespect that was put on this man's name, you had people out here saying that he's not that guy. He can't lead a team. He's not top 15. Listen, man, Jimmy Butler is top 15, top 10 debatable. But let me get to the main point of this video because I'm getting off track here. Before game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the Miami Heat, their team facing elimination. Reportedly, Miami Heat veterans PJ Tucker and Markieff Morris told Jimmy Butler, look, man, we need 50. We need a 50 ball tonight. And Butler did not say a word in response. He didn't even need to. All he did was give him a nod before going about his business. Jimmy Butler, with the entire basketball world counting him out, Draymond Green in particular, and I'm going to get into him in a second. Don't worry, I'm going to get into Draymond Green in just a few. But Jimmy Buckets went into TD Garden and dropped a 47-piece on Jason Tatum's and the Boston Celtics' head, including 9 rebounds and 8 assists. 2 assists and 1 rebound shy of a 40-point triple-double. He did that. He did that against the #1 defense in the NBA. You see, Jimmy understood all of the obstacles. He heard the doubts, and he didn't give a damn. He delivered one of the best performances of his career. And he willed this team to an impressive 111-103 victory that forces a Game 7 on Sunday night. Heat Nation, stand up, man. Heat Nation. Jimmy Butler, right? In a career that has been defined by hard work and determination, Jimmy delivered another masterclass when his team needed him the most. Right? 16 for 29 from the field, 11 from the free throw line, and 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. I don't understand how the Celtics did not send double teams to this man, although I think it wouldn't have even mattered in the first place. I remember tweeting last night. I said Jimmy Butler is pretty much doing whatever the hell he can. Kyle Lowry pitched in 18 points, but he fouled out. Oladipo's giving very solid defense, but he isn't really giving that much on the offensive end. And Bam was a complete no-show. I'm sorry, he was a complete no-show. And this man, Jimmy Butler, calmly delivered big play after big play every time it looked like the Celtics were ready to take control of the game. This is the type of performance he has come to expect from himself in the biggest moments. And it looked very similar to the games he put up in the 2020 NBA bubble. We all remember the famous picture where he's completely gassed and giving his team everything he can. I mean, he delivered the Heat to within 2 games of an NBA championship. This Jimmy Butler disrespect has to stop. I don't care what anyone says. This man is a flat-out superstar. All great players have off nights. When Jason Tatum had a couple off games these playoffs, including this game where Jason Tatum only took one shot in the fourth quarter. Now, I'm pretty sure the biggest story is Jimmy Butler dropping 47. But guys, I want you guys to understand this. Jason Tatum took only one shot in the fourth quarter. No one is talking about it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, earlier in the playoffs, he had a couple inefficient nights. And I'm the one who says that he's the best player in the world based on his track record and stuff like that. But he still had off games. But no one was talking about how, you know, he's inconsistent, etc., etc. Although he did win a championship and Jimmy Butler didn't. But still, I want the media to give the same energy to all these stars who have off games. Because it looks like when Jimmy Butler has a couple off games, the world just goes upside down, right? I wasn't hearing the same slander that Jimmy Butler received. And this guy Jimmy is grossly underrated. And I think it's time we put him up there with in those conversations with the LeBrons, the Jason Tatums, the Lukas, those guys. I think he deserves to be within that room. Now, Heat players like Udonis Haslem and PJ Tucker also use Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green's words as motivation. Now, Green predicted that his team would face the Celtics in the NBA Finals after the Warriors won the Western Conference Finals against the Mavs on Thursday. And man, did the Heat not like that. Because, in essence, Draymond Green is pretty much giving the nod to the Boston Celtics. Check it out.
Answer, Draymond.
Hey, you're asking me who I want to play. I'm going to tell you who I think we're going to play. We're going to play Boston.
Okay,
that's who we're going to play.
Thank you. That's the Draymond I know.
We're going to play Boston.
That's the Draymond I know.
Now, with Draymond Green saying those words and the Miami Heat using it as motivation to force a game 7, some of the Heat players had some words post-game. Tell Draymond I said I appreciate it. Quoted by PJ Tucker, who was speaking with SportsCenter host Scott Van Pelt in a post-game interview. He also goes on saying, "It's funny," Tucker explained a few minutes later in his post-game news conference. He said that they laughed and they thought it was funny because he knows better. They're saying that Draymond Green knows better than anybody that this Heat still has games to play. Now, there's no guarantees of anybody winning in this league, and everybody knows that. It's a make or miss league. One night you're on fire, one night you're not. You can't help these things. But at the end of the day, the teams have to play, and there is going to be a winner. And PJ Tucker felt like it was kind of weird that Draymond Green would pick another team, right? And Udonis Haslem, of course, the OG, the veteran of the Miami Heat, he also chimed in saying that Draymond broke the code, right? A familiar reference, by the way. Well, he went on to say that Draymond knows better than to say something like that, and that Shaq peer pressured him into saying something that he has no business saying. Now, people can point to Shaq as a reason behind Draymond's remarks, but Draymond is a pretty smart guy, and he definitely knows better. And there's no way in hell you're going to tell me that Shaq peer pressured Draymond Green to say something that he did not want to say. Draymond is very calculated, and he definitely thinks before he speaks, except for when he's on a basketball court, of course. You know, that's all aggression, passion, that's different. But as far as off the court, no one can force Draymond to say anything that he does not want to say, right? But the biggest story behind this Heat win is Jimmy Butler's post-game remarks. He mentioned a pre-game call with Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade as a source of his inspiration for his masterclass, right? Check out this clip, guys.
We know that you've been dealing with that knee inflammation. How were you able to fight through it tonight?
Honestly, I got a phone call and text message from D. Wade earlier today, and he was telling me that I could do this. You know, knee a little banged up, but nobody cares. Go out there, continue to build your legacy, and it meant the world to me. So I appreciate you, D-Wade.
Now, one of the most famous Miami Heat players of all time is a part of the reason that Jimmy Butler went out and gave it his all that night. Dwayne Wade, who is by most people, well, everyone, the face of the Miami Heat franchise, even in retirement. I mean, Dwayne Wade has been in these situations a bunch of times. And for him to give Jimmy Butler the insight and the inspiration to go out there and perform at this high of a level, it just speaks to Dwayne Wade's greatness, his mentorship, his experience. It just speaks on how great of a player Dwayne Wade really was. And Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler are really good friends. I mean, they hang out from time to time. And to be quite honest, a part of Jimmy Butler's game reminds me of Dwayne Wade. The fact that he's able to slash into the basket, his mid-range game, because we all know Dwayne Wade wasn't a great three-point shooter. Same thing goes for Jimmy Butler. But to see all this come to fruition, and for Jimmy Butler to credit Dwayne Wade for his performance, I mean, you love to see it, man. This is what it's all about. Now, Jimmy Butler's performance conjured up comparisons to LeBron's 40-point outburst in Game 6. Just like in this current series, Miami returned to TD Garden for Game 6 in 2012, trailing the series 3-2. And that was following a convincing win for the Celtics in Game 5 in South Beach. And I remember this year that the LeBron slander was at an all-time high. Now, he was getting killed for not being able to make it over the hump and actually win a championship. Because the year prior to that, in 2011, the Dallas Mavericks completely took LeBron James out of the game. And to most people, that was one of LeBron's lowest points in his career, as he just completely disappeared in the last 3 games, including those fourth quarters where he didn't even want to shoot the ball or even attempt to attack or ask for the ball. But following that convincing win for the Celtics in Game 5 in South Beach, as I said before, Game 6, LeBron James happened. And he proceeded to drop 45 points on 19 and 26 shooting, grabbing 15 rebounds and also dishing out 5 assists. And that game, LeBron imposed his will and forced the Heat to a Game 7, the score being 98-79. And in Game 7, Miami would go on to win 101-88, eliminating the Celtics en route to LeBron's first championship, where the Heat defeated the Oklahoma City Thunder in under 5 games. Now, comparing it back to Jimmy Butler, who had a 47-point outburst for himself, even Jimmy's peers had to react to this virtuoso. Check out these tweets, guys. And so now, the Celtics and Heat will meet in Game 7 on Sunday with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line. The 2 best words in sports, guys. Game 7. I cannot wait for this game. I'm completely excited. But let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to comment and like the video and subscribe to the channel. My socials are linked in the description if you guys want to tune into that. And as always, guys, I will definitely see you in the next one.